All right, good afternoon. Welcome. It's the weekend. What a great day to be kicking off a double header for Link to the Fast Randomizer League. We have Week 5 co-op cross keys. Quite the matchup here today with Telethar and Structural Mike representing Usedbow on the left-hand side, facing off versus Pichu and James FNX on the right-hand side. And co-op cross keys. I mean, even cross keys was fun. Just wait for the octal. Quadruple? Double? I'm not sure. Some power of 2. Anyway, we're in here for a really great time. I'm here joined with me, the other member of Usedbow, Jem. How's it going? Who are you rooting for?
So, I am rooting for whoever uses the bow.
Okay.
Not name related, but action related. So we'll see. We'll see during the race who I'm rooting for.
Did you know actually the race room that was opened for this room was called Superb Arrows? So I think it's really a sign of all good things to come.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of good things to come, we do see a sync start. Telethar and James FNX are both at Pyramid. It's also one of the more, I think, interesting starts for sync because we already have access to the Dark World. So maybe a little bit less pressure in order to try and go find some of the connectors because you already do have at least one portion of Dark World. That being said, of course, we still need the Pearl in order to really get anywhere because we can't, I guess we can walk up like Pod. Pod hint. I guess we can't even really do anything at Pod because Kiki will not talk to us if we're bunny. I guess only humans.
Sync set is sync pyramid is kind of cool in that regard that you can you have just quit access, but it's also annoying because early game you just can't really do anything with it. So your only save and quit point is Link's house, and you have to walk everywhere in the light world from there until you get at least a pearl, I guess, or or you have to bunny walk, but that's usually like a last resort.
Yeah.
We're finding some very, very nice early game entrances. We found Graveyard Ledge, which is just tons of free bombs, ended even at 300 rupees. We also found the front of TR at the Lake Hylia Fortune Teller house. And that's free magic and also a free bomb. So yeah, we're cruising for the early game right now.
Yeah, we also got some early crystal knowledge. Did you see that both teams found the big bomb shop, which it's in Light World, which means that we do again need a little bit more work in order to deliver the actual red bomb into the Pyramid Fairy. But we do see in this case Skull Woods and Ice Palace are red crystal, so maybe a little bit more incentive. But again, we need a lot more this case stuff than rather just gonna go and purchasing the bomb. And we got to get like a courier and some other services. Yeah, and I think also, one thing also, by the way, you mentioned about like some really nice entrances. Speaking of Ice Palace, that's at Eastern Palace. Okay, a little bit of dungeon shuffling going on. Yeah, but I was also gonna say, so like one nice thing about, of course, having sync at Pyramid is again, we mentioned you get the Dark World access, but also on the flip side, it is one fewer, I guess, like starting point, saving quick point that you kind of get. You see Telethar right out in Kakariko, which is one of the locations that inevitably everybody kind of either wants to go back to initially to explore things, or you just having a really nice like start there because inevitably there's gonna be something in Kakariko, and having a sync start not there means it's just like you gotta kind of look for another. Maybe there's an old man saving quick point there. Just gonna be a little bit less convenient, and at least until we pick up the flute. If we pick up the flute.
if we ever do that, yeah. Yeah, Kak, you just kind of end up going to a lot of, very often because there's just a lot of entrances there. So, nice mirror there. That's awesome. That makes the pyramid start so much better because you can just a mirror right on top of the castle.
Yeah, two free entrances immediately, depending on 3 if we can get like 2 swords or a cape. Of course, that's the traditional locked. Agatower, vanilla Agatower interest, so you do need a little bit more, I guess, like equipment to get into, like a higher barrier of entry. Get it? Barrier of get it. Anyway.
Yeah, I got it.
Look, I just woke up. Okay.
Moving on.
Ooh, half magic, by the way, for Telethar and Akina. I did not catch where this one was, but this. Okay, do you think that's worth it? If you are okay, you think that's worth it?
Early, yeah. Probably, yeah. Unless by the time Mike gets to back, he has like 3 swords and I don't know. something that he feels comfortable clearing Ice Palace with, like you just get this early.
Okay.
It'll be useful.
Very fair. Yeah, very fair. Because and this is also one of those things where for co-op, sometimes you can kind of see the ending, or even at the beginning throughout the seed, things can be a little bit more lopsided because again, like you're trying to split up coverage as much as you can, and so depending on where the safeties are, depending on where the equipment is, like both players are always going to go after like the vital items or like the required ones, mirror, hook shot, sword, boots. Not in that order, but like those are the ones, right? But these other things like armor, heart containers, half magic, those sometimes don't even get relayed. Those sometimes can be so far out of the way that someone doesn't want them or can't get them.
Yeah, there was a co-op seed I played once where there were like 3 heart containers in Hype Cave early on, and it's just like, man, and they were like somewhat on the way at like south of Kerk, but it's just you can't really make the time to go there for just heart containers. So
3 heart containers, that might be. I mean, that might be worth it. Maybe 3. I mean, that's more than 2.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of health, and early game in co-op can be very rough if only one person ends up finding ults. But
by the way,
it's so
speaking of
much
parts, James just found Spike Cave here in Kakariko, and again, that's actually one of the places that you actually want health. Telethar finding a glove. I assume this is all in CAC, so it's not like James and Pichu are going to miss anything really. Yeah, but having those early bombs, whether you see Pichu in this case kind of farming things in the Bomble hut, and James, of course, I think found a couple bombs in the 50-50 bushes all south. And so yeah, everyone's got a good number of resources. I assume that James and Telethar will do Bottle Vendor if they haven't done that already.
James already did for sure.
Okay.
I didn't see if Telethar went. No, Telethar's going left right now, so he will too. It was just 20 rupees though, so nothing there.
Okay.
Yeah, we see Mike picking up the half magic in Agon as well. Makes sense.
Yeah, especially you mentioned right. No real weapon. Not the half magic is going to do anything for us right now, but having any type of it'll definitely facilitate a lot of like pick up a fire rod, pick up an ice rod, even Samaria. That'll definitely proxy as a pretty good weapon. I mean, you don't need very much in order to go get through like Mini Moldrum Cave or like Escape. So just having that extra amount is going to be really helpful.
Yeah, Telethar is going back to Paradox now. He found this here. I don't know if James explored all of Kerk. I didn't see him get the glove. He also went north without doing Paradox, I think. Unless I missed it all, but I don't think so.
Okay, maybe he just ended up getting like the south stuff. Ooh, he's thinking about doing Spiral Cave. Oh, that's funny. Oh no, sorry, no. Oh, okay. He's a bunny, but like this is actually his Link sprite, and Spiral Cave is rough when at least he has 2 bombs, I guess, to his name, so he can kind of maybe get through this Mini Moldrum. this is why. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
see, run! Oh my god. Okay, we did it. We did it.
And he got a bomb back. Okay.
Yeah,
we're good.
The superb bomb is working out for James. It's not.
So things are happening. Oh no.
Things are happening? Did you say things are happening to tell them about a pearl or something? Is that what happened? Okay.
Yes, Telethar found a pearl in Paradox, and Mike went through Spectral Cave, like which is Telethar entering right now, and bomb jumped, and he got spat out in the Dark World at the bomb shop.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's
which he has the mirror, so even missing the pearl, he can just go back to Kerk now and take these mirror spots. Oh, and there's a sword there too. Okay, nice.
Yeah. Okay, suddenly, under 10 minutes in, we have a lot of the necessities and also the niceties of the seed. I mean, granted, we don't have like the best one, which is of course the boots, but we have a mirror, which arguably some people like and understandably rank the mirror higher than the boots in terms of most desired item in cross keys. Of course, you have the sword, which means weapons or offense is certainly a lot nicer.
Ooh, and bottom of Speckrock leads to Floating Island. So with the mirror and pearl, we can do and the glove, we can do almost everything up here, finding an Eastern big key.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Which may or may not be a good thing. Like, what do you do if you find Eastern now? Do you hold out or?
Oh, I mean, it depends on the person, but if you're Zelga, yes. And you know, I mean, again, we have superb arrows waiting for us somewhere. That's not Eastern, I'm sure. So yeah, of course we'll hire. We'll hold out for now. Spiral God M Cave. Okay, thank you, Iker. Yeah, that was unfortunately one of the places that. Ooh, I was gonna say James unfortunately took an early exit from the mini Wilderness while trying to jump down from Spiral Cave. But you know what? We've got due to a change of route, we found a hook shot on Desert Ledge.
We also found Castle Tower. James found the Castle Tower small key at the dam entrance, which Telethar doesn't have. So he can only get the first chest here.
It's really like the first chest is really technically logic as well. Like you do need the lamp for the second chest. So I mean, like yes, you can be more efficient, as you said, if we had the Castle Tower small key, because you'd rather get 2 items instead of 1 when you're at a location, especially when it's that free. However, that being said, though, you know, if we miss it for a while, probably not going to be the end of the world, because again, it's still non-logic, and so it is still pretty early. Although, wouldn't you be sad though if it was with boots?
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. If it's something really good, then like you're just not ever prioritizing coming back here. So that's why I kind of wanted the first time you're there. That being said, I guess this is through, like it's Super Bunny Cave top. So I could see these guys take the floating island connector multiple times from here still. So there might be more opportunities to just go back in.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, we actually do have a good amount of access in different parts of the world that usually are connected, but of course, because this is the entrance shuffle, they're actually pretty disjoint, right? So, like, you have kind of some larger chunks, right, of Dark World / mountain. Like the mountain itself, of course, is its own thing. You gotta find a connector there, or of course, you have Flute. Then that's easy access. You have like the left side of the mountain. You have the right side of the mountain. You have Dark Death Mountain. You have different parts of Dark World, you know, depending on if you don't have a hammer or like flippers or or I guess we have Pearl, so maybe that part a little bit is alleviated.
Yeah, we just have a lot of the exploration things, so which is super nice for routing. Like we see Mike getting spread out at Dark World Shopping Mall, and he can just do all 6 entrances there in Light and Dark World.
Yeah, that's actually really nice.
Yes, the mirror.
Yeah, very often not. You don't have any. You don't like you really try to hold off with the Ice Rock Cave area or like the Dark Shopping Mall area until you have either a glove or a mirror. And sometimes that can be pretty late, depending on again like how the items are sequenced. But we have glove and mirror, as you said, very early, so we can actually just do so much stuff here. Okay, Telethar finding some nice goodies. Canis Maria. Map to Desert. Don't worry, it's already a pendant. We already know that. Befriend.
It's always a pendant. Excellent. Yeah, with that. So Pichu and James are king up CAC right now. It ended up really hurting them that James just went on to the north without exploring everything. So they're now both back here, having all the goodies that are there. Telethar and Mike like simultaneously just are finding a lot of item caves that have a lot of items, but not really that many good things. And they found like Maya Shed, they found Mini Moldom Cave, Hype Cave, all at once. And what they got were like a TR small, a mushroom, the desert map.
Yeah.
Oh, lots of CR for not much.
And also, I guess like once you find all these like high value caves, right? And this is also one of the challenges that people have talked about for co-op in general is the communication. That was discussed a lot in week 1 of League 80 KDB mode when it was not entrance, but it was all dungeons key drop, which means suddenly you had like 10 more keys for every dungeon that you had to go keep track of. So here, it's just especially when you find all these like high item caves, you gotta try and mark them off. You find anything that's remotely kind of important, you gotta kind of start telling your partner. If you find them simultaneously, you're like, okay, well now you gotta just talk over each other. So it really does actually help to have a little bit more practice and just smooth that communication a bit. By the way, okay, so I did see Pichu found her way over to the Mire area. So that's also another, disjoint location of the world that we can't have access to unless there's a connector, or of course we have Flute and Nits with the more traditional whip. We found Thieves Town, so that's a really nice dungeon to be able to find, front 4.
Yeah, you know what we found there? The second Castle Tower small key.
Oh, really? Oh no. Do we check what's behind Lumberjack? Yet?
No, because James is the only one that went up there, and he found Spiral Cave. Oh, there's
We
lamp.
found the lamp. We
Yes.
found the lamp. Oh no. Oh no.
So James found Spiral Cave in the north entrance of Lost Woods, and he took it. So he didn't actually check was it Lumberjacks.
Oh, okay.
So, we know it's not Ganon behind it because that one is a Kek well. We also found the well. So is that most gonna be one item locked by Castle Tower?
Yeah, and of course, this is something to keep in mind, even though it might seem a bit obvious. But we do need the Castle Tower item behind whatever that is in Lumberjack. We do still need the boots. It was slightly less obvious than maybe some of the other modes that start with pseudo boots, and it's like an Aga Tower, and it's like, oh, okay, Ganon's behind Lumberjack. Let's just go find our X number of Castle Tower keys, and then you realize at the very end when you still don't have boots, you try to dash open and bonk open the tree. Yeah, that doesn't quite work.
I'm like, it's just never gonna hit you.
Yeah, I know. To be fair, both people in that race did it, so it's not like he was the only one. But yes, that was probably the more notable one. Yeah, looks like James kind of following suit though for Pichu. Kind of made his way over also to Maya area. Makes a lot of sense. Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, James found that Desert Ledge Scout earlier, so of course some pretty good access. Okay, Telethar came out of, I want to say it was an Old Man Rescue. No, it was not Old Man Rescue. It was in some other connector.
Yeah, Spike Cave had the Death Mountain Descent Cave.
Okay.
The dark one, and that spread him out there. That's where he went at the end of his mountain exploration. So yeah, now he'll probably make his way back to Cactus so he can go through Paradox and get a hookshot and stuff from the Maya area.
Yeah, that hookshot really though, only for Telethar, it's just it's so close and so far away because you got spit out Desert East, which you really can't do anything with that connector other than I guess just be in the desert area. But yeah, we can't jump up. That is something that you have to watch Mike and James and Pichu do, either go through Dark World or get another desert connector. Okay, Pichu also found Super Bunny. I missed that big key. By the way, shoutouts to our tracker today, Iker and Dark Shauna. These guys, signed up to do, again, one of probably the worst, more difficult modes to track in for any of these restream matches, which is keys plus entrance. So extremely difficult and daunting job. Really do appreciate them being here, especially so early in the morning. KDKDB's worse. Thanks, Iker.
I guess it has a lot more keys.
Yeah,
makes sense.
More, yeah. Oh, by the way, we found a shovel. I saw on Race Game that Telethar was managed to be able to obtain. So that is going to be another check. Pichu, finding the back of Skullwood. So she does have a sword, and she does have a lamp, which means that we can sequence break. But it does not look like we have a small key as a skull. So.
Yeah, so we're safe. We don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh shucks, be darned. We can't go back.
Yeah, she found. Well, Mike is also here. They both found their way over east of mountain through Super Bunny. It's actually nice for both of them because they found hookshot, so they can also go to west of mountain now and get the old man like what Telethar did just earlier.
It looks like James, though, decided to check Dark Potion Shop and then deciding to eschew the fish check. We're not going to get any loot today. Yeah, for some reason. Understandable, but for some reason.
Yeah, making use of that save and quit to sink. Easy way to get back here. That's probably, honestly, why we're not doing the fish. Waiting until 500 rupees, probably, so.
Oh, yeah.
300 that he has, right? Kind of hard to...
Yeah, it looks like 300.
Yeah.
That is a very, very fair point. I completely forgot about the fact that we can't actually have the mirror to go to. So it's like I was thinking about we're playing inverted. Imagine playing inverted cross keys. Admins, are you listening? Suggestion for next year's mode?
Do not listen.
Don't actually listen.
They must stop talking. But yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense. like we can just save and quit 2 catfish anytime. So just wait until you have the money to also do Zora, so it's more efficient.
Yeah, and it's actually like, yes, we will actually be holding it off for a good reason. It's not like I'll just check Esra Cave later at any time when I have the flute and boots, right? I'll just, that's easy. And then an hour later, you go find your like, go mode, I don't know, bow there or something, and you're just like, oh, I'm sad. I do see, by the way, I think this was kind of put out earlier. Maybe we're a little bit light on keys in terms of. Granted, we're only like 20 minutes in, so we're not expected to have a lot of stuff so far, even though we have a lot of Y items. But that being said, are a little light on keys. They're flippers, by the way, and bumper kit. And we're a little light on health. I see that Telethar is in the lead so far with 5 whole heart containers. James, unfortunately, is only with 3, which means that he's just has the original set of health that he started with. At least we have a little bit. We have blue mail, so that does ease up the pressure a little bit. So it's not like we're constantly on 1-hit KO. We're just on mostly 1-hit KO.
Yep, Telethar making the classic mistake of letting the lasers here hit you. Like, this is so easy, but sometimes you just kind of tap up or something, and then you just hit by the lasers. And it kind of
don't try and play. Yeah, don't try and play like the blinking game with the lasers. You're going to lose every time. All right. Well, by the way, okay, this might be our first check up on the cast. Oh no, I was gonna say this is our first check. I just watched Telethar mirror up here, so we have potion shop check. But yeah, this at least be the first check for James and Pichu. Help here of the castle. You did mention, of course, that this is one of the things that you can do very easily and readily once we get the mirror, and it's saying start at pyramid. So very nice information to be able to get this checked. You really
some conversation going on between Telethar and Mike there. Save and quit, open save and quit is right next is at Arrow Game, and I think they both were headed for the dick game.
Oh.
And Mike turned around.
Yeah, only a few dicks. I didn't even catch what it was. I assumed it was nothing because
we've
already left. Oh, okay. Bottle. We could have gotten a bee friend, another bee friend.
That's a TR big key. Well, we're just at a TR big chest, so.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. That was one of our interests that we ended up finding. Yeah, some pretty nice big keys, honestly. Like, we got Skullwood's big key, Swamp Palace big key. These are big keys that you really would like to have before you go into the dungeon. Just because you don't want to get into the dungeon and then basically full clear -1 and then having to go back for it and last locate that item in the big chest later. Ice Palace, of course, is going to be the other one, like probably to some extent Hera is also. The other ones, the big keys we have Eastern, Turtle Rock, those are required big keys, and usually speaking, like, you don't really try and explore much of a dungeon unless you kind of have that big key. So those are, while necessary, they're probably, I don't know if they're considered to be like less valuable. They're just like, they're going to make the route smoother once you have them, but they're not going to make the route rougher if you don't have them.
Yeah. Did you see what we just found? We found the back of Desert. Like every other dungeon name came to mind except Desert somehow.
We don't have a map. Mike is not the one with the map to Desert, right?
No, he have it, and it did say C.
Oh, it's a crystal. It's a crystal. Oh my gosh.
So we do get to Great Lamos eventually.
Yes, that is true. Okay, well now it's going to be a test to see who in this case will use the superb arrows. Although arguably superb arrows mean silvers, and we don't do that here on the stream. So
we use the correct arrows, not the superb ones. Okay, Tyler is showing us the catfish now. He does not have the money. So
we also don't really have a way to sequence break. Yeah, but we also don't really have a way to sequence break waterfall. Like, well, actually, do we? Bombs in Samari, is that enough?
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah.
Okay.
We did see that it's a bumper cave leading there. James went through it. from Bumper Cave.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay. So we don't actually have to go through there, I guess. But Talthar, I guess, doesn't know that from his side. We have yet another heart container, by the way. He did pick it up. So yeah, now we're pretty much... Talthar has, what, double? Triple? A number between 2 and 3 more times health than James.
James just hasn't found a single heart container. That's so rough.
Yeah, by the way, you know what would be helpful at any point for James right now doing the easiest room in the game? Samaria, Boomerang, Fire Rod, any real item. He's doing a good job though.
Health?
Health? Yes, health would also be something. He does have a sword. The good news is he has a sword. At least we can get through at least like the Gibdo, just in case he's kind of camping here. But well done, James. We made it through. We have a sword! Very well, good reward.
Nice. Sword number 2. Big fan. Yeah, some good scouts value. I'm gonna do the other stuff here. It's a little bit awkward because James is the only one that doesn't have the Scouts Bicky yet, and yet he's the one that is in Scouts. The Bicky was on an old map. He's the one that hasn't rescued him yet, so he'll have to leave this shack behind.
Yeah.
That being said, Pichu will probably want to go to Scouts anyway for the sword.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can check the big chest. It's like slightly unfortunate.
James got a heart container? Oh my gosh.
Ah.
Sound the trumpet. Put on the confetti. Yeah, but honestly, like, and this might be, of course, subject to preference. But if you offer somebody having 3 hearts and Master Sword versus like 6 hearts and Fighter Sword, I don't know. It might be a little bit questionable as to what you would actually prefer.
Yeah, probably the sword. If you said tempered 3 hearts, I'd pick tempered every time. But Master Sword doesn't really get you that much further. So
wow, we gotta beat 3 pendants. Go pull the pedestal. Get like the Sword of Evil Spain that's supposed to destroy everything, and you're just like, I don't know. 3 heart containers in Hype Cave. I might go after that instead.
Okay, second chest in Castle Tower is just a hard piece. So unless Lumberjack, the one item behind Lumberjack is needed, we don't need both keys.
True. Alright. Okay, well, Pichu, here with actually enough Zora money, 600 some, she's gonna be able to give us a check here for the other fish.
Did you catch the ledge?
It was 10 arrows.
Okay.
I'm sure they're not the superb arrows that we were talking about that we need. I don't think she's willing to go get them, especially when she's one capped at 30, and then also 2. We're still looking for that bow. Oh, okay. Found another big key, by the way, Tower of Hera. We do have a hook shot, which means that we can't always beat Hera when we're there, especially, of course, now we have a weapon. That being said, though, this is not something you want to leave behind as the Hera big chest. The Hera small chest, though, like in the basement, yeah, we're leaving that behind like 90% of the time.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're getting screwed by it like 70% of the time, so...
Yes, that's how the stupid game works. How would you rank Mike in the race for having the most health? Because he just found his red mail on Laser Bridge.
Oh, wow.
Along with
red
Ether
mail?
and Portsmouth.
Yeah, I mean, he's... well, isn't the goal of co-op to beat your teammate at everything that you guys are doing? So I think Mike's in the lead, right? Okay.
Honestly crushing.
There was a race last night. I believe it was P-Train versus GFE, and P-Train finished like 10 minutes before GFE. We're like, wow, what happened?
In co-op, I take it?
Yeah, and co-op cross keys, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Alright, looks like we're finding more connectors, both on... Yeah, Peach is going to finish up, start all of the Dark World checks for past Potence. They haven't quite done the stuff yet, and then, but yeah, we're going to find some more connectors. Going through more Turtle Rock for Telthar and Mike. I don't know if they found anything quite yet.
Yeah, yes, Mike found the Thieves on Vicky and the
okay.
That one's pretty important.
Okay, yes, that is. Yeah, especially in this case, I believe everybody knows about Thieves Town, maybe?
Yeah, they all have the lamp. That's
Okay. Oh yeah. Good point. Yes. Yeah. And we don't have the hammer. We also don't have the small key. So I'm not quite sure like the willingness that people have in order to go to the back of Peace Town. I mean, but that being said, like yeah, we probably have other things to go do too. We are kind of lacking some though on dungeons. Like we're definitely not lacking on money too. Did this guy like? I was gonna say like die get inheritors or something because that is was that 700 rupees 900 rupees
yes
okay
I think 100 yeah
okay maybe he owned a casino. I don't know. And yeah, all of the winnings that like the gamble game has, both in like Dark World and Light World, like they just go to Saha directly.
To Saha's Villa Bank, yeah. Yeah, Mike is not going through Poke 1 to get to the front of TR here because front of TR is just right next to Link's house, so save the key and just go this way. Which he's not prioritizing, understandable. Don't have the fire rod. Oh, Pichu found GT.
Yeah, Pichu found GT, and she was so close to the middle door, and I was like, is she gonna open? And then she, of course, not wanting to spend a key, which I understand, decided to not open the middle door and get to the torch room and their crosspaw key room. Now, this is not key drop. It's powder, by the way, and Skull was big chest. Yeah, this is not key drop, so there's not really much value in the left side until we get that hammer. You can always take a peek at the torch item, but we don't have boots, so we really can't even get it. So it kind of, I know that people probably go, I don't know, like 50-50 or whatever. Some people like to go check it just in case if something very important is there that's boost locked. So once you have the boots, you immediately rush back here to GT. Some people just say like, forget this, I'm not taking the extra, I don't know, like 15 or whatever seconds to go check this thing because it's probably junk anyway.
Yeah. Looks like Pichu subscribes to checking torch. Just 10 arrows. 15 seconds wasted.
It's an investment because again, like this is co-op, right? So at least like there's gonna be knowledge for both you and your teammate. So maybe it's not like quite the whole 15 seconds spent, because again, like for co-op you can, at least is my impression, like kind of watching a bunch of co-op races, that you can afford to kind of maybe go out of your way a little bit in order to get some extra knowledge. Because if you're playing solo, you're like, oh, do I want to make this time investment now? Because it might just be a waste of time and you don't have to do it later. But then if you're co-op, right, you're also scouting for your partner as well.
Yeah, in the end, it's so 15 seconds, or like however much time you spend, that you end up losing more or less. But I think it's still just generally a better approach to co-op to play for efficiency. So, yeah, it's good to spend the time. It's just you still use the full time because like you just add up the time that both people spend, right, and then you divide it.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
It counts the full time essentially.
Okay, Pichu found the dam. That is something new. I don't think we found Swamp Palace yet.
We did. It's at Spiral Cave entrance.
Oh, okay.
At least Mike was there. I remember him finding it.
Alright, James, by the way, is back here in the back of Skull Woods. Now, he does not have the fire rod, just like everybody else. However, he is here with the lamp and armed with a Soulwood Smoke that he got in Pinball. What do you think will happen? We are going back to go beat a Crystal Skull Woods dungeon. Go, James, go!
The guy with the least targets is challenging the moth.
That is true. But he does have Master Sword, so it does get things a little bit nicer. Unfortunately, we can't really make use of that, of the half magic that we picked up earlier.
Yep.
Yeah. He also has no medallions too. That's kind of unfortunate. Would have been actually really good to be able to just like bombos everything or like ether everything. Because as even with Master Sword, you can see that these Gyptos are extremely bulky.
Yeah, you can actually just kind of ignore them. Just walk up to the top, set up your bomb jump, and then just when they try to walk up into you, just knock them away with your sword. And it works out well enough that you can just light the room without having to worry about that much. But yeah, I mean, playing it safe, also not wrong, because he does have a little of health here.
Yeah, kind of just like that, right? I mean, the game is James has demonstrated that you do not need the fire rod in order to go beat Mothula. And this is one of the bosses that I would consider to be slightly less punishing if you don't have like the intended item that you're supposed to get, from the dungeon or whatever it is in order to go beat it, right? If you're missing the fire rod, yeah, you are missing also a little bit more offense because fire rod's also a ranged weapon, does a good amount of damage to Mothula. But kind of that being said, James is probably good enough to do it. He has also the red potion kind of in his front pocket, not even back pocket.
Yeah, we saw him go to the bridge chest here in Skywoods to pick it up. Or fighting Moth. So trying to be safe. So pretty funny on Mike's side, I find. So very nice splash lead with bombs, chain, and red room. But he's using it to go to East Darkworld, and he could just save and go to Sank to get here. I don't know if that was necessary.
Talking about some other nice bombs, we're gonna see Mike figure out that he does not have mitts. Oh, we're gonna do the bat instead first. Hang on. But it looks like this might be an exit over to Village of Outcast if he so chooses to bypass the mitts requirement in the Dark World. By the way, that was a dead Mothula for James FNX. Well done.
Yeah,
didn't actually even need the potion, but of course it was just there. The trick about using a potion is that once you use it, you're invincible and you will never take any more damage, regardless of what happens. But if you don't use a potion, you're just gonna die. So.
That's true. That's why what you always try to do with your races is to take the potions through, because that's like an achievement.
Okay, we're gonna finally get a lumberjack check. As soon as we go find the lumberjack house. Oh right. Oh, this is where. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. Right.
The magic bat is there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I don't even know what item it is that's there. It's just one mystery item.
That takes forever. And then at least in the randomizer, you don't get any text boxes other than Uncle and I guess Blind and I guess Ganon, right? Just got 3, and then there's some unforced ones you can also go find. But the bat, you also don't have to get insulted by the bat. He just does nothing to you in this game.
I missed this earlier, but Hookshot Cave at the Dark Shopping Mall has the Swamp Small Key, so we're actually just flippers away from being able to clear Swamp.
Ooh,
and theoretically, Emerald, but we don't really need that.
Yeah. Talking about requirements, okay, Swamp technically is not an item that you get inside Swamp Palace in order to go beat it, but the hammer, and Specky, like you can praise his name, you can curse his name depending on how you want to look at things. Being able to bypass the hammer requirement in Swamp, if you go in with no swords, it's both hilarious and terrifying. And I know that Pichu at least is an avid swordless lover. I don't know how she feels about swordless, hammerless Argus. It is quite hilarious from a viewer's perspective. However, it does require a little bit more skill in order to maybe take Argus down.
I'd rather not. Good thing we have swords though, so that part is fine. Mike found Pod at Dark 5, and we found a flute in here in Shooter Room.
Oh yeah, that's definitely very nice. Now I know that Telethar, and among others probably, don't necessarily like take the flute as one of like the most highest valued items in cross keys. It's certainly very nice to be able to use, especially if we don't necessarily have some convenient stars at, let's say, like Kakariko. Now that being said, though, I think we have a lot of connectors over to different parts of the world, so we don't necessarily maybe need that flute, but it's certainly, again, very, very nice to have.
Yeah, it helps a lot, especially when your spawns aren't great. And this one actually, Old Man makes up a lot for how annoying our spawns are, because Old Man is an early game, so we can just mirror to CAC. But yeah, the flute definitely very nice to make routing a little easier. Yeah, Mike tried to mimic it there. Now he's just gonna potion camera unlock.
Yeah, my case, actually usually pretty good with mimic clipping. I've seen him actually do it quite a few times. But you know, I mean, that being said, if it doesn't work out, like it just doesn't work out, and there's not really much of a reason if you really don't think you're going to be able to get it, is to basically, you know, don't subscribe to Sunken Cost Fallacy. Just just cut your losses short, and then just continue on. And then we'll find a bow in here. Don't worry, it's always a bow lock bow.
How about a sword?
Okay.
We take that.
Yeah. So combined between everybody, that is Temperate Sword, third sword knowledge for people. So at least we know that we don't have to probably do Master Sword Silverless for Ganon. I can't imagine like not going over to like pod right side to like skip out of the sword if you already know it's there. Pichu is okay. So before the race started, Pichu said, "I will try not to use my face as a shield." And we just witnessed her using her face as a shield against the Pokies, which I do not approve of, but at least she's alive.
Maybe she used her face as a sword. Maybe that's the difference.
Oh, okay. So we have to, okay, all right, okay.
Look at the top left, what's happening there.
No, I'm not, no, Telethar, okay, we should just black out the screen. I don't know why we didn't lose speed, because he has done something unconscionable and is not worth mentioning. Can't believe he did this. Can't believe Mike told him about bombos and hookshot cave.
Well, the hookshot cave led here, so unfortunate. You had to get your bombos on the way to Hyrule Castle.
See, there's not even anything back here. There's just another green potion. I guess we got all 4 bottles.
Yeah, Telethar stole the key here to get to the back of escape because Senk is at the pyramid, so this way we avoid clearing GT to get there, which could potentially be required. And in my opinion, it makes sense to steal the key in this situation. Because the back of escape is in logic either by finding the Hyrule Castle small key or by beating GT. Or, oh nice, flippers through the right exit of Hyrule Castle. So the back of escape can be in logic by either finding the Hyrule Castle small key or by beating GT. Whereas the front of escape is only in logic with the Hyrule Castle small key. So this means that the back of escape could technically block the small key, so like if you do the front, you can be required to beat GT to get there to the back for something required, and you will always find the small key if you need to do the front. So in my opinion, it just makes sense to steal the key there.
Is this your way of defending Telethar's actions in the back of escape, though?
What do you mean defend?
I mean, that means if you steal, if you steal the small key, then you have to go to the back of escape. You know, like, well, I mean, via like Dark Cross, right? And Seattle, and I don't think that that's defensible. What he did. That's what I'm saying. He should have just kept it, and just like waited for the small key to show up later, maybe.
And then blow up the red. What if he blew up the red again after finding the key?
Oh my gosh, dude. Should have gone through a Dark World, man. At least he has a fighting chance. He found Meyer, by the way. Okay, so what I've been told also for Misery Meyer is that if you're missing boots and you have the hookshot, boots are guaranteed to be a Meyer.
We, however, don't have the big key yet, so you know the boots could be in the big chest or Virtuosing, right? We might have them.
That's true.
Yeah, James on the right side is... That's true. James on the right side is taking his Beast on Bicky and is beating Thieves right now. For some reason, we can see what's happening. It's a bit weird, but...
I also read the blind pun. I immediately forgot what it was, but I also wasn't able to read it. Something about pitching C's. Yeah, I did notice that James did find a book. Thanks to our trackers being able to mark it. He did, find a book in Thieves Town Attic, so that is going to be something that we can actually get. Eventually, we're going to be either back of the mountain or, of course, a Bombo's tablet. I believe because everybody already had the mirror early, we did check for Desert Front entrance, which is normally book locked, but you can, of course, get there via Dark World and Mirror. But I don't think there was anything important there.
No. Yeah, the book is only for the tablets at this point, and maybe reading Pedestal.
Ah, yes, reading pedestal. Tracker Iker also mentioned before the race. He was like, "Yeah, we had misrequired on pedestal last night." I was like, "Oh, okay, great."
Surely that wouldn't
That
happen
could
this
be
season.
exactly. That could be the case here as well. We don't know what's on pedestal. We haven't seen any sign of any more major items since I don't know, 20 minutes ish, maybe. No hammer, no glove, no bow, no boots. Where are my things?
I don't know. Maybe right here in Hera.
Oh, there's a fire rod. Okay, never mind.
That is a thing.
That is a thing. Pyre Hera big key. Very, very much required. I have no idea where that was.
Yeah, that was somewhere. But yeah, Mike was in Hera earlier when he the second chest of Castle Tower with his hook shot, and he decided against clearing it. Maybe because they had just learned that it's dependent. But turns out it was good to wait for the big key.
Yeah, and I think also, right, Iker I think mentioned this was green pendant Hera as well. Yeah. So we did find Saha with his 700 rupees that we've already stolen from him.
He's not steal them, or you just
borrowed, or is that what we're calling it these days? Is it considered stealing if he literally witnesses you like taking, you know, the money away from his from the back of his hut, and then him not do anything about it when he had the opportunity to do so?
Well, you come in there armed with a sword and you throw a bomb. So
True. Okay,
this is not stealing. Maybe it's robbing.
Yeah, yeah. This is not, by the way, any recommendations as to how to actually like get money from somebody. Okay, like do not listen to this advice. We don't condone any of this.
Oh, this is okay. So there's a big key in the first chest of Swamp. It's like kind of, except not for Teletor. So Swamp is at Spiral Cave entrance. The back of Desert is at the Ductive Mountain Ledge West entrance. So you could just mirror there and do Swamp and then go back into the portal and be Desert. Except Teletor jumped down from the top, so he can't go back into the Dark Portal right now.
Okay. So Pichu was also there, like around the same time, and she does not have the small key, and she also didn't get the first chest. So maybe in this case, she's just gonna wait, like because like James has it. So maybe they'll just wait.
She doesn't have the flippers yet.
She doesn't have the flippers. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, James is about to get them because he's in Hyocasa. He's gonna exit the right exit and get his flippers on top of Vampire Cave there. But yeah, until that happens, they won't know where and can't reroute in Swamp.
Good point. Mike did a map check real quick, confirming that Desert is in fact shockingly a crystal. And of course we have Green Pendant Hera.
Why did you map check today?
How do you
do that?
I don't know.
Probably a mistake.
I was thinking that too. I was like, I thought we already had all this information. We don't know what Eastern is though. Yeah, in terms of like completeness of pendants and crystals, I think we're still missing our last pendant because we know that Hera's one. We know that what was the other one that we knew? Or I thought we knew.
Do we
was it only Hera?
I think just Hera, yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, it looks like Hera Bicky was at Uncle at Sank.
Oh, okay.
Mike just picked it up.
Okay, that means that Pichu in this case is gonna be about to get her fire rod, which means that when she goes and beats Skull Woods, she can go and use the fire rod for real, as opposed to the fake one that James had to do.
Yep. Yeah, fire rod also opens the right side GT and Ice Armors at the climb.
Oh.
Well, no, not the climb. We don't have Pro yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does open up that stuff. Roller room in TR you get access to. So fire rod opens up a lot of checks right now.
Yeah, I also did see Hera small key in left side swamp as soon as watching Pichu kind of go through. Hera itself is like, I guess are we going back? I don't know. The good, of course, this is maybe one of the nice things about trying to stagger some of the checks that you kind of do, between partners and co-op. So Talthar already had finished Green Pen and Hera, but Mike has Mike is not quite there yet. So maybe he wants to go to Swamp first if he can, in order to, full clear Hera like entirely, because now he knows where the Hera small key is. But then again, maybe it's just one of those checks to say like, well, if it's I'm willing to last locate this because 1, Hera small key is on left side swamp, and also 2 is Hera basement. So
and it's hammer locked, which we don't have yet. So it's
yes, it's hammer lock. Good point. Yes.
So if I was Mike in the situation, I would tell Talthar this is his problem and not worry about this key right now.
We also did find Pod Big in Swamp Big Chest, so that is going to be, again, we're lacking a bow, so we can't really do very much, I think, we can't claim the prize of Pod, at least. We can do a lot of stuff.
We are lacking the hammer too, so we can't beat hammer that way, and we also just don't have a lot of small keys right now, so we can't get much done in Pod at the moment, but the key is very nice to have for when we do have more things available there. We also found the ice pick key and compass chest, which is just, nice to have. You don't need it, but 2 of the dungeons with big chests so far that are optional have given us necessary things with the fire rod and the pod pick key, so probably always on the safer side to just have this big key.
We did find Ice Palace very early. I remember Mike chancing upon that, and we've always had bombos for quite some time. Of course, we had a sword, but now we even have the fire rod, so that could be. And it's a 5/6 crystal. Oh, it's gonna be hilarious if Pyramid Fairy has something.
Yeah, but this big key is also hammer locked as is ice, so this at least the big key itself probably doesn't really push them there.
Don't worry,
wait for it.
If the hammer doesn't show up in Ice Palace, it'll show up in Pod. It's just, one of those classic hammer to this dungeons that we're going to see very shortly, I'm sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Talthar is going to have a significantly more convenient time here in the backup Skullwoods. As is, everybody else is going to be, Pichu and Mike. This is going to be a crystal that everybody has to go do. But yeah, half magic, fire rod. Bombos will not help him. But yeah, he should be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna make quick work of this.
Yeah, as quick as we can without the boots. Granted, the boots don't help here, but it's almost been an hour, and I'm waiting for the boots to show up.
Yeah, I have been waiting for them for 51 minutes and 50 seconds. Poor guys.
Take this as copium, Jem. This is their sacrifice. The later their boots are, the earlier your boots will be in game 2.
Yeah, it's actually how it worked last time too. Like in the what was duality, I got boots in mushroom spot, and I think then when in game 2 they got them never or like super late.
I believe it was never. That was the that's the duality part, of the mode. Good thing, by the way, we were able to read the blind pun on James' side. I see Mike here in the back of Beasttown, still with no small key and no hammer in sight. Not that we could see those items to begin with if they were. Mike is taking down blind in mosaic form. Just slightly pixelated. It's a compass, I believe, to Skullwoods? Turtle Rock?
Yeah, I think so. Skullwoods or Turtle Rock, one of them.
Yeah.
That's the 2 I would have guessed too, so one of them has to be right.
And for what it's worth, the compasses and maps don't actually have any logical implications for being the boss. Like, you don't have to have the map of the compass before you logically can go beat the boss, but, it's still kind of nice to have. You get a nice little counter on the dungeon. It has helped out people for what it's worth in times of crisis, just in case, because sometimes you're in the back of Maya and you're like, why do I only have 6 out of 8? Oh no! I forgot an item!
Oh, we found a bow. Look, it's your favorite item.
Where did we find it? Oh, it was a checkerboard cave! Oh man, Telethar would love to have that item right about now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
On
Flipper's
Lake Hylia
lot
Island.
too.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, Telethar is... I mean, he has sword beams, assuming... Well, he has powder, so he will definitely have sword beams almost, so it's fine. He will just have to press B a lot.
Okay, okay. So I have heard that Telethar likes to press a lot of buttons. You know, his APM I think is usually pretty good. And without boots, he just tends to get restless, and then he just starts to push random buttons. He's nice tempered. And so, like, you know, just being able to having to force to be pressing B all the time, right, is actually a pretty good safeguard. Because sometimes you accidentally press like buttons and then you like mirror out of dungeons that you don't want to. Like that's no good-o.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can let out a lot of still. All the buttons he wasn't able to press throughout the seed. Doing a little funny cane strat there with Oakshot to get into the warp. I'm so convinced it's actually faster because it takes a while to set up, but it's very funny.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know, maybe it's actually okay without boots, just because, again, like, with boots, you can just kind of bonk over things, and you could make things go faster. I don't know, without boots, it feels like you just have to, like, walk around a bunch of times, and, I don't know, try and maneuver, like the beetle. It can be pretty painful. We are here, unfortunately, with 26 superb arrows and 0 superb bows in order to defeat Lemos here on James's side. We don't even have the fire on it. So this, I mean, like, you know, there's of course a lot of memeing going on, but the weaponry that James right now has for Desert is actually could be is left to be desired.
Yeah, I mean, spins and sword beams are the best thing you can do. You can do like some like double spins with the cane, but it's like weird and not that reliable. But you can get some double spins that way, kinda. Which can speed up the fight too. But yeah, probably just gonna do spins here.
Yeah, very understandable. I don't know if it's worth it to place a few bombs here and there to try and soften them up a bit. I don't think bombs do very much damage.
They do. They do an arrow's worth, so like a fourth
okay.
of the health. They're actually pretty good.
Okay. All right, nothing behind Ice Armos, by the way. Telethar, very nice. You basically spamming the B button, as we heard and saw, and yeah, there's just really nothing back there. And we have the mitts on Lamo.
Oh baby.
Oh yeah, because we did find the Desert Smoky. Somebody has it. Oh yeah, no, Pichu found it. It was on Lake Hylia Island, right. So yeah, Desert's fully in logic, and now finally we have traditional Dark World access at the near 1 hour mark, and we can do more stuff. I guess we do Smith Chain. We can do Ice Palace entrance. Anything else?
Yeah. Not really, because we already found my area. We already got spread out with hammer packs, now that we have a hammer.
Yeah, I
guess eventually it'll let us do TR entrance. That's like the thing it does too.
I was thinking briefly.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just thinking maybe briefly hammer is on Magic Bat, which would be again hilarious. However, that being said, we still need the boots, and I don't know where the boots are.
Maybe right here in the roller room in TR. That would be nice.
That's true. That's true.
That's the other
goal.
Lamos Telethar.
No, that's right. All right, we're going, right? He had to make sure that Desert was actually a crystal.
They both had the map check because they couldn't believe it.
Exactly.
He's gonna get his Desert Smoky and probably also Silvers, right? He's gonna continue on to Lake Hylia. Oh, Pot is a pendant. Interesting.
Yeah, and still after all this time, we only have looks like 2 small keys, maybe. And the big key. I mean, granted, like it's still okay. That is probably enough at least to go do some amount of damage to get some checks into pod. Of course, now that being said, we're still missing a lot of stuff in the back, or it's like for logic. So even though pot like you can get a lot of stuff there, maybe it's not kind of worth it right now, especially if you have a clearable crystal dungeon to use superb arrows on. We're gonna get a check at the king. I don't remember if anybody else did this. I assume Peachy did this in her path, maybe.
I don't think she did. I don't know. I don't remember where she took it. I don't really like checking Hobo like this. You have a pyramid spawn. So probably just check it on the way to like pod or something. But, well, definitely helps with pod.
Yeah, we got another pod key. So that's 3 now total. By the way, we are finally gonna need a pedestal check. Let's see the hammer. Meyer Big. Meyer Big is on pedestal. Oh, that is big knowledge for Usedbow team.
Yeah. Okay. Guess we are going to clear all the dungeons today.
Yes. So the good news is that because this is a double header and pretty much everybody here involved will be there for game 2, with the exception of James FNS. He's going to be being swapped out by PH, and Mike is actually going to be joining me on the booth. If this game runs long for whatever reason, then the second game will be delayed, but with understandably good reason.
No, we're gonna start. PH and I are just gonna start.
Just start up the seed by yourself.
At 2 p.m. one of that.
Okay, so good news again. For those of you sitting over there with popcorn, it is a good time to go get maybe some more popcorn. Maybe a refill on your refreshments. Have we seen all our dungeons, by the way? We must have, right?
We are missing Eastern.
Eastern. Okay.
Which we can clear the first trip there. Yeah, with our bow and
we have 1 million bows. I did see that Pichu did not use her bow at all. Even though I did see her practice at the very beginning. Like she was warming up with some bow Lambos practice.
Yeah, I'm still disappointed. Like you have to do it during extra race, you know. Right, Telltale showing us new stuff in pod. Here on 3 keys and the big key.
I'm gonna assume the Telltale. Well, okay. What would you do in Telltale shoes with 3 keys, knowing that you've already been relayed that this is a pedestal seed? Would you take your key to go beat Helma? Would you take your keys to go finish, like to do more checks in pod, and then just wait for another pod key?
I would just open up Helma's over here. If the hammer had shown up by now, I would not. But since it hasn't, I'm just gonna see what his item is and get Dark Maze. We're just going to find more keys. Usually.
Yeah, given that we haven't really had a lot of pod keys show up. Like, I mean, that just means that there's more room for pod keys to show up later. But it just certainly seems to be that there's 6 of them out there. We would probably get more than just, I guess, like the 3 that this somewhat like trickled in. Speaking of Ganon's tower, did we find Ganon already? It's not behind the climb, right? Oh no, the Psych is behind the climb, right? I knew that. I knew that.
Yeah, Ganon is just at the well in Kakariko.
Okay, we are getting a new check on James' side. We are looking to do Hera Basement. We got what? What did we find?
Thieves on Compass and Dark Maze.
Thieves on. Oh, okay. That is the compass to pick up now. Okay, we can stop picking up compasses now. Everything's fine. Do you think Mike's gonna get it? I think the answer is no.
Probably not. I think Mike was just on his way to do Swamp and Desert, but then realized he doesn't have the flippers yet.
Yeah, I guess he hasn't found the connector yet. Alright, just 50 rupees in Hera Basement. That was quite a financial investment in order to go get that. Could have just asked Saha for money. And by ask, I mean we'll just demand the money and take it without ever talking to him.
Yeah, not talking to him would be good here. So you wouldn't notice as a pendant. I could see James just leave potentially since it's they know.
Yeah, well there's a fire rod here. And I think Pichu's already talked to yeah. Oh, that is. Wait, do we find hammer on Pichu's side? Right side desert. Big find for desert. Yeah, for desert, considering like Telethar and everybody else. Sorry, Telethar and Mike haven't beaten desert yet, but Pichu and James have, and using a desert palace Smokey, we finally have our hammer.
Yeah, that's actually pretty huge. Opens up a lot of left side GT, although we know that at least Render Room is locked behind the 6 pot small, since there was one GT key in pot big chest.
Yeah, I wonder actually if things would have been different though, right? Because like Pichu found the hammer in Desert Right, which Telethar did have, right before. I guess like going over to he could have done that before going over to pod, and I don't know if his decision would have changed, right? If he had the hammer versus not being a part of the way.
Yeah, I mean he would definitely have beaten hammer there since they had the peddlage. But
I do see though.
Fine, the keys will show up. He'll just go back. He has a food. He can just take the portal at 5, and it's right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, by the way, Telethar is here, employing one trick that you need in order to win cross key seeds, which is to climb. Ask any humbugs out there.
Yes, this is the one trick. If you want to do one trick in cross keys, just climb GT and you win. It's easy.
Maybe the boots would be up here.
That would be a huge reward.
Yeah, it looks like everybody is going to probably be on at least tempered silvers by this point. Like, we just see the 4th sword in right side pod, which it kind of maybe looks like if you were the one doing right side pod first, then you'll get that sword. But if you're the second one into pod, then it's like, you probably won't get it, especially now. I think everybody, I guess Mike's not on tempered yet, but you know, he I think knows where their 2 swords are, so he probably just take the whatever convenience factor, whichever one is more convenient for him. Okay, boots are up here.
Do you think we can kill the mini hammer? Okay, we did it.
Telethar is, again, he's just a little restless. He is pushing extra buttons, right? Because he has nothing else better to do. And the mini hammer is... What happened to this switch? You know, it's actually really good for sword practice. You know?
Yeah, just happily using the sword a couple extra times. Looks like nothing so far in the climb. Pichu found a pot small in Stopper's room.
That's good. That's good because the pot smalls are very easy. Nice higher castle small key locked by all 4 GT small keys.
Yeah, no climb required. Mike is now finally doing swamp and desert. Turns out what he needed was the dam. He hadn't pulled that yet.
Ah, okay. Yeah, and we're kind of in this case watching, you know, Pichu explore the basement, and she'll have the bow in order to go do Ice Armo. So a little bit, definitely a little, is gaining some time over Usedbow. And there are the boots. Did we not do random room on GT? Yes, Pichu has won this race. At least so far, because she's the first one with the boots. I'm sure after roller room here for James, he will go over to GT right side, or left side.
Yeah, you rush. Like, the moment your partner tells you what boots are, you just rush them. You finish what you're doing and then you rush there. Telethar is gonna get them within like 3 or 4 minutes. He's about to get his hammer here. His portal is still in front of the dam, so he just walk right back there.
Very good
and
point.
to the left side GT.
Very,
he's
very
not
good
far
point.
behind.
True. I forgot about the hammer requirement. Thank you, Iker. I forgot about the hammer requirement. I would have just been like using my face to try and peg down the pegs and not being successful, and it would have been very sad.
What did we say about not using your face to do things?
Well, no, that's only for Pichu, okay? I didn't say anything about anything. It's an incremental learning process, okay?
Okay, and as expected, Mike says Sarah basement is your problem, Telethar. I'm not doing left side swamp. He's just going straight to the back. Okay, really not far behind to the boots on Usedbow side. We're going right there.
So, what can't we do right now? Can we do everything? Maybe TR entrance if it's Quake locked?
We did
Just
find
trying to
Quake,
figure out.
Mike has it.
Oh, okay.
It
Okay.
was somewhere. So we can... What can't we do? We can't try next. We... I guess we are just in Ice Rod Gomot? Ice Rod and find Eastern Gomot?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we have to find Eastern, for sure. And then I guess we're still looking for the Ice Rod, which in fact can. If you've ever watched Rando before, this statement, while it has been said a million times, is still not on. It's just as true as it's always been before. It can't be anywhere except for on Tridex himself.
Yep. Well, I have great news. If TR is our last pendant, then the Ice Rod also can't be on Vitreous or in the Maya Big Chest.
That's true. Good point. Good point. All right, Telethar now has the boots. An hour and 10 minutes in.
When you were playing the game.
Okay. Just so you know, I guess hour 10 is your benchmark. Okay, for like we'll watch to see when these guys all finish, and then that's the amount of time that you will have without the boots. Okay, for your race. That's how this co-op like doubleheader stuff works.
Oh, okay. Can he just like finish right now?
Well,
Please?
I think he's trying. Right? I think everybody's trying to finish as fast as they can, but unfortunately this is a pedestal scene because Mario Big Key is on the pedestal, so there might be a little bit more gameplay left. The hope I think is that you were supposed to wish them to not find boots, you know, at the benefit of your own.
Sorry, I just can't do that. I can't do it. Okay, Mike is using the correct demos.
Very, very well done for Mike. Good job. It's okay. Little cheating is okay. We have used the bow. That's a pretty good fight.
Yeah, a little bit. This would have been like a 2-second or 3-second if he hadn't accidentally fired that one arrow too early before the third one spawned there. But then he couldn't fire any more arrows. So, but yeah, very nice bow lamos, very nice mids.
Not getting fined today. Pichu's gonna get her 4th pot smoky. And yeah, I think right now, like, everyone's kind of done a lot of the same things, covered a lot of similar grounds, maybe, you know, with some one-offs, like, here and there for both teams. The main thing that Pichu and James FNX are lacking is the knowledge that this is a pedestal scene. Because Mike was the one who, you know, read pedestal and find out that Mario Big Key is on pedestal, and which we know that if there's any big key on pedestal, it has to be to a crystal dungeon, because by definition you can't have a pendant big key on pedestal because you know all 3 pendants for it. So this is 100% required, and we just see that knowledge already hurting James a little bit because he left Hera after just getting the big chest and not beating Molnorm, and already found out that it was green pendant, Saha turn-in was nothing, and so... Oh, it's true. Okay, unless it's Swamp or Skull. But yeah, we've already got those big keys. So yeah, and so while but there's gonna be a little minor time loss from James to do that. Like, at least doing Hera just by itself is gonna be, I don't know, another minute-ish. Like, so it's not gonna be that big of a deal. But it's kind of it's like the rest of the stuff, right? Especially now, Pichu knowing the Plaza Pendant, she may not finish Pelma, but she knows we know she needs to do that, but she may not. So it's stuff like that that's gonna have more consequences the longer that they go without this knowledge.
We're just leaving with our folk.
Okay. Maybe we're just gonna go get our flute. I guess maybe we can go get the flute, go activate it, and then I guess we can come back anytime, right? That's the thinking?
I guess that's the idea. I think what they're doing is rushing entrances to try and find Eastern before they commit to pendants.
Makes a lot of sense.
Because that's a crystal. Do we know what the last pendant is yet?
Not mine. Maybe Eastern.
It's not my. Must be TR then, yeah? But everything else is marked as a crystal. Except for Pod and Hera.
Good fight on Teletar side.
Yeah, nice Bolamos.
Very well done for Usedbow. Fun fact, and I don't want to jinx anything. The season so far for Usedbow, we can see on the scoreboard, is 24, which means that they're so far undefeated in the first 4 weeks. And what do they do for every seed? Use the bow. Just saying. For all those people out there who have doubts about the bow on Lamos, this is the proof by example.
Yeah, just 2 Bolamos.
Teletar is back here with the hammer and a small key. So yeah, understandably, probably go and get at least the boss. Is there anything else? I see 8 out of 14 items checked here.
Because Mike was already here and he did the front.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so we're just missing the Biggie chest on their side. After hammer.
I think this is also our first look into Ice Palace for everybody. I mean, other than the initial Mike went in and couldn't do anything and then left. We are also picking up Boomerang on Mike's side as well as part of the Boomerangers team. I heartily approve. Okay, I guess that's what Eastern's last time.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, if there were a green boomerang and an orange boomerang in the game, I would also pick those up too.
What about the pink boomerang?
I would also pick up a pink boomerang.
Very good.
Pink boomerang though makes me think that like you took a red boomerang and then you put it through the laundry and then it accidentally bled, and then now you have instead of a red one you have a pink one.
No, that's not how it works. It's just the pink boomerang.
It's like a pink bow, you just attach it to yourself. Oh, okay. Dark Shauna pointing out that in fact it is not just Ice Palace, it is the Ice Rod Palace. We have found, it looks like our Go Mode item. It's our Go Mode item as opposed to entrance in Ice Palace. So that is going to be another boss down for Pichu and James, as Teletar has smashed through Helma, gotten his pendant.
Yeah, Mike picking up his hammer here. He's gonna save him quit Twilling's house, or maybe walk out the middle. I think save him quit is better, and go straight to the DT to get his boots. They probably need that to open up to get to Eastern, maybe?
Probably. Gem, what do you say? We need the boots, okay? We need the boots.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where Eastern could be. We have done Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb, and we haven't done TR entrance. I'm not sure there's anything else left.
Yeah, that's true. We've done Ice Palace entrance. What else haven't we seen? Have we seen Mimic Cave? I assume we've seen Mimic Cave at some point.
Yeah,
okay.
we have seen Mimic Cave. I think it should just be those 3 checks or entrances left. So yeah. But yeah, Ice Road is in Ice Palace, so this will be Go Mode for Team Usedbow. They just need to find Eastern at that point, and yeah, it's in one of those 3 entrances. This is where Faster Potence is gonna start bleeding time for not having the pedestal knowledge, because they're gonna still try to find the Maya Big Key in locations that aren't the pedestal. They're not gonna prioritize finding Eastern either, because, well, I mean, it's 6 items, so for that reason maybe, but
yeah.
They don't know that they absolutely need it. They just know that there's 6 items that they think could have their Maya Big Key.
Yeah. And is that actually the only thing that Pichu and James need? Is this the Maya Big Key? Like, they have everything else? Or they at least know about everything else? Yeah. So yeah, you can actually see right now
Quake,
that...
I guess, if that's required, but yeah.
True. Yeah, I think at least one of Telethar or Mike was already here in Meyer, so it's not gonna. So at least it's gonna be a little bit more parity. But yeah, like if they had pedestal situation knowledge, then I don't think James would be here, right? They would be either trying to hunt down. I mean, well, they would definitely be trying to hunt down where Eastern is, but also, like, I don't know if they're willing to go to Ice Palace now, go be Trinex, and then, you know, like the strategy would definitely would be a lot different.
Yeah, Ethan was just here at King's Tomb.
Ah, okay. So it's boot locked.
The boots, yeah.
Very much boot locked.
Yeah, but this is just go mode now for Usedbow. They know where their last pendant dungeon is. They found the ice rod. They have everything now. Just need to finish everything up. Hold pad. Beat Meyer.
I wonder what motivated Mike to check pedestal. Granted, the queue's back there, like with the fire rod and with the mirror and the book. So I think it was also like very good timing on their part. I mean, so maybe it was just, you know, by construction, just like a very well planned route. Because, you know, like those are one of the things that you really don't want to like leave those kind of things behind, because if you have the opportunity to try and do that, then you should, right? Because it's going to be kind of like no cost. So it worked out extremely well for Mike and Telethar.
Yeah, that's I think. Oh, Quake is just here in Maya. Okay, not that we need it anymore. Yeah, it was basically just Mike hadn't gotten his sword from Scorwoods yet, and he surely intentionally delayed it until Fire Rod so he could check the like the entrance at the back there. And yeah, by the time he then ended up going there, yeah, he just had already beaten Thief's Town, so he had the book. And that let him check pedestal and ultimately helped a lot in winning this race.
Yeah, this was... you really can't point to, like, I would say, like, one or even maybe like 2 or 3 like single things that really kind of tipped the race, you know, for one team versus the other. This was a very major contributing factor, though. Yeah, and as you said before, right now the knowledge of the pedestal hasn't really hurt James and Pichu all that much, because they're, like, again, they're still doing a lot of stuff that's necessary, right? Getting all Crystal's dungeons through, you know, getting all the prizes and stuff, but it is stuff that, like, they also would leave potentially early. That's going to hurt them more and more as the seed goes on, once they run out of all the things that they absolutely have to do, right? And then they're going to go and chase the Meyer Big Key somewhere that we know is not possible for it to be there. Could be in this case, yeah, front of escape, back of escape, the rest of Meyer, maybe some extra checks in the overworld if they haven't already done that. I don't think, have we done purple chest yet? Has that been a thing?
No, not yet.
Yeah, so, you know, these are all going to be things that they don't need to chase, but they don't know that they don't need to chase.
Yeah, that's... I don't know actually if they have... I don't think they've checked the back of Scorwoods yet. So at some point they could decide to do it, but they just have no real incentive to go there. Unlike Mike, who wanted the sword, but they're both on Tempered Sword Plus at this point. Yeah. Well, Peach would be the one that would want the sword, because James already got it, but she's already on Tempered, so yeah.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, well, I mean, so they don't know where Eastern is right now, so maybe at least is there something to, like, if they're still looking for entrances, that is going to be one entrance that they haven't been to for, at least, like, for the duration of the seed. But there also could be just other entrances, other things to do, you know, as you said, that are maybe more appealing. And going over to the back of Skullwoods, man, I mean, you talk about a lot of Skullwoods being inconvenient, or we just don't want to go there because it takes forever. Like, this is not any difference. Right? Going back to the back of Skullwoods is a couple minutes, probably. You know, you gotta get to Dark World, you gotta get into the Dark World, you gotta go through the Skullwoods connectors, you gotta go to the back, you know, it's a lot.
Yeah, oh, I guess Pichu had already been there too, because she checked the big chest and got the powder.
Oh.
So, yeah, the only incentive for them really to ever go there is to just open up the back. Which, I mean, I don't know what kind of item caves are still left. And at the very least, they don't know about Eastern yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be some incentive.
Nice fight on James's side.
Yeah. Same with
really nice.
Pichu's Phoenix.
Yeah. Having Tempered Sword really does make quite a big difference. Just being able to be in your comfort zone. I'm tempered or greater. Usually speaking, you don't really see gold sword unless the swords are just all in your face, especially in co-op where you're actually probably struggling to find swords because you find one, your partner finds the other one, and then you can't really go over to where your partner found the sword because you got all this other stuff you got to go do, and getting the sword is really sometimes it could be very difficult to, like, unless it's the boots, it could be difficult to convince the team as a whole that getting the sword for you right now is going to be worth it, especially when you already have one.
Yeah, I mean, past the first sword, the swords usually aren't a big priority to get unless you have to challenge Cold Stare very soon on no half medic, etc. But yeah, you definitely love having the swords.
Alright, he's asking this flute. Pichu checks Bucky for us, and it's just more money. Unfortunately, this is just proof that money cannot buy you happiness or anything that you want. We have to actually go and work for jewelry. Can't just go buy it from a shop.
Money does buy you the item from the blacksmith. So.
That's true. It is only a paltry 10 rupees. Oh, I guess, yeah, there's another text box that we don't usually get to see. Unless you're short on cash with Zora, and if you do not bring 500 rupees with you, he will actually tell you that, hey, you don't have enough money, come back when you're richer. Unlike the Smith, which you might think that 10 rupees is like, oh, of course you're always gonna have 10 rupees. That is not always the case, and unfortunately, for better or for worse, he doesn't actually tell you if you're short on money. I don't even know if there's a sound. It's just kind of like a nothing happens type of thing. And if you don't realize that you're short money, it can certainly be confusing.
I actually didn't know that he doesn't even give you a text box. That's pretty funny. Yeah, my guess is the rando devs just put text boxes where they thought it makes sense, but they kind of assumed you just always have the Smith money, so they didn't bother.
Yeah. This probably happens more often in Inverted, if you have to do Smith early, or I guess more like in Spoiler, when you're looking to find something on the Smith, and anything really extra that's not really necessarily like in your way, you don't pick up. And yeah, money surprisingly, right? You don't need bottle mender, you don't need chess game, you don't need pod money. Money doesn't always have to come free.
Yeah, it can be. Sometimes it's really hard to find those 10 rupees early game if you need to move super early.
Alright, Mike, first one to pull pedestal. Look, it's the big key to Misery Mire. Amazing.
Oh, wow.
This is definitely one of those.
Who do you think wins the race between Mike and Telethar? They both have to beat Mire. Well, Mike just accidentally went in the Dark World. That doesn't seem right.
He's gonna go beat...
Mike has a Light World Flute 5.
Oh, where's he going? Okay.
He's going
Okay.
back.
I was like, so do you think it would have been faster to mirror and then flew back versus run back from
Probably.
where he is? I don't know.
You
I can
have to
certainly
mirror either
understand.
way. It's just flute versus run, and probably
Mhm.
flute.
I can understand though. You're like, oh no, and then you just do like the first thing that you think about, which is, probably, oh well, let me just run back as opposed to like mirror and flute. All right, so for better or for worse, this is Eastern Palace for Pichu, and the good news, I think, that is she is going to full clear and probably beat Armos here because there's 6 items total in this dungeon, so that'll be good for her. She will not find the Minor Big Key, and maybe she will continue on to search the back of Skullwoods, maybe, in order to go get pedestal knowledge. But I think the bad news is for James, given that she's going to find absolutely nothing in here of value, James is just not going to do it until they eventually figure out that it's going to be pedestal.
Yeah. Yeah, also James is doing Aga right now, which is also a very, very big time loss, or something that isn't required.
Oh, I guess this is AD. I understand.
Unfortunately, it's not AD.
Yeah. The book was in Thieves Town Attic, which James had very early. I think he was one of the first ones actually into Thieves Town for between everybody, all four of these runners, and I think he was in the back of Thieves Skullwoods even before then. Like he was one of the first ones back there. And he did very well to go get a sword, his master sword on 3 hearts, but he didn't have the book then, he didn't have the fire rod then, and it just makes things a bit more awkward to go back and check.
Yeah, both James and Pichu went scouts without the fire rod, so they really just have that back entrance isolated.
Hey, is that prize on the ice?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Wait, it said wow Boku no empty.
I don't know.
But he didn't even try to catch it, right? That's so funny.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Price on the Ice is just weird like that. It just does weird things.
Well, I wasn't sure who was going to win this race between Mike and Telethar. Telethar is really struggling here with Bomb Spooky and not having work. But again, I mean, she tried a couple times, doesn't work. Again, wholeheartedly approve. You just go bomb the thing and then just move on. Especially when you know that your teammate is just going to go and beat Trinex like right now. So you don't have a lot of time to spare before, dropping down to Ganon.
Yeah, I think Telethar said though. He's gonna be at the boss slightly faster, and Mirtius is also a faster fight than Trinex. So he will probably finish first, barring any disasters.
Those are Baris, Gem. Those are eyes.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Did you say barring any disasters? Okay, everything's fine. We still have 6 arrows for Ganon. That's 1 more than we need. That is 16 more. Not 16. That is 12 more than we need. Yes. There's Podkey, by the way, on Eastern, the Armos. Oh, James, is this going to be back of Skullwoods?
Yeah, I think they're gonna learn. Oh no, he just beat Aga, so he needs to get his powder from here.
Oh, okay. Right. He was not here with the Skullwoods Big Key very early.
He might still check the back while he's here, because there's an item there, chest game, if I remember correctly. And then
nope.
Maybe check
never mind.
that. Nope, while leaving.
No, never mind. Alright, yeah. As expected, Telethar, first one dropping down into Ganon. Tempered Sword, Silvers. Looks like Blue Mail. Didn't get it from Laser Bridge, which is fine.
Yeah, he got it from Laser Bridge, yeah.
Oh, he's on Blue Mail, right?
Yeah, he got a
Oh,
Laser
okay,
Patrol.
okay.
I
Right,
didn't see him pick that up. So he must have skipped the other one, wherever that was. Right, we're about to find out what the bat holds.
Oh yeah, this is true. Dark Shada, the Pichu is gonna go beat Helma. I mean, this could be a pedestal pull for her.
Yeah, she already has the other two, so she's just gonna, at this point, get them all and blind pull.
Yeah,
It's the right thing to do, but yeah, unfortunately.
No. Yeah, big GG's though to Telethar, Usedbow, 134.20. Very well done. Yeah, I mean, this was a very good teamwork effort for Mike and Telethar. Like, very good route in general, and then just being able to, I mean, certainly the big thing was pedestal knowledge, being able to hold out for that fire rod and everything else, basically, until Mike was able to do everything the back of skull with, and that knowledge paid off tremendously.
Yeah, overall their route was also just very efficient. They didn't really step on each other's toe, and just divided their work pretty well. And yeah, even before the patch, like I thought they were a little bit ahead, and just due to that, and yeah, just very well rounded guys. GG's.
Yeah, big GG's to Mike as well, finishing up second. Now, unfortunately, Mike can't try and take his revenge in game 2. You will have to carry on in Mike's mantle to try and beat Telethar. Speaking of Mike and Telethar, GG's guys, welcome.
GG.
Yo, GG's guys.
GG.
Well done
nice.
for the ped knowledge.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hour and a half or hour 15 boots, you know, but
Who's
I'll do that.
counting?
I told Jem that the longer you guys don't have boots, the earlier he'll have boots. So it's considered a sacrifice for game 2.
Yeah, thank you for
Oh,
sacrifice.
yeah, that's how that works. I forgot.
if I can average, that would be swell. Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have a
nice.
complaint.
What is your
Oh.
complaint?
Complain away.
We didn't need to do Aga 1, despite having 2 keys. It's not really a
Could have just
complaint.
done it. You had
It's
the
more an
powder.
observation. Sorry?
Could have just done it. You had the powder. James the dagger.
James did Aga. What's on the bat then? Do we know?
A compass.
Oh, that's not even interesting. Oh,
Nope,
well.
it's not even a good compass.
Pichu, by the way, is doing what you guys had efficiently figured out. I don't know, like 40 minutes or something into the seed. Whenever you check ped, Mike.
Yeah.
That knowledge
they never checked
was
ped.
that knowledge was incredibly big for you guys.
It felt good checking ped. And like, oh, I guess we just continue to full clear, and then we just end up getting to skip a few things, I guess. Once we hit Ice Rod. That was nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Just finding the
There was a
at that point, you already had
bunch of-
access to every entrance.
There was a bunch of early, I don't know what to call it, but me getting orders from Telethar saying I started the wrong place, and then I started another place. So no, don't start there. And then I start another place. No, you shouldn't start there. It's like, well, I've tried them all now. What do you want from me? But we
GG.
collect ourselves. GG's.
You know, Pichu,
GG's.
James, GG's.
Mao.
I'm
Now
sorry.
We
Yeah.
saw both of them finish. I was like, I'm on Elma, I'm killing Elma, I'm pulling Ped, then I'm FF, and then I just laugh at the Mario Bicky.
That
yeah,
was
you-
knowledge
you
that they
never
had.
Yeah, you never scouted that. And
I mean,
we did.
the only point where we could have scouted is like when James did Magic Bats, like as I was in pod. And I was like, you just go straight to GT Climb because it's either Ped that I'm going to pull or GT Climb at this point.
Yeah, I scattered it because I was checking this Skullwoods entrance with Fire Rod.
Yeah, which we just never did because we were well out of entrance go mode fairly quickly. At least we thought.
Right.
We
Yeah,
were
no.
very late to boots.
Very late to Hammer, mostly.
Yeah, hammer and then boots. Like
Because
our
they-
hammer was like at like 110 or maybe later.
Yeah,
I
this
think
is
it
a
was the
real
same
race,
for us.
so I'm not allowed to open up Right Side Desert. So I'll say that.
Yeah, Peter found the hammer and boots like 3 or 4 minutes before you guys did.
Okay.
Yeah, but we were like hours late to the flute, so our movement was pretty poor most of the season.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
know
were.
that I didn't.
Yeah, probably like 20, 30 minutes later than.
Did you
the others,
activate
yeah.
your flute? Tell us.
I did activate my flute after I full cleared GT. Yeah. I had like an hour 25 or something. I activated flute. Like there was no reason to activate that thing for most of the seed. It felt like
Yeah.
with the
I'll
mirror
say-
being.
I think. Well, it felt like I was early to the hook shot on Desert Ledge. Like we stumbled into hook shot quite early. I don't know if that's true though.
We had it fairly early. Like I had scouted it, so we were kind of pushing connectors super hard at that point.
I think
So,
we're
like,
good
just-
at 10 or 15 minute marks or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Mike, you and Pichu were in my area at like the same time, and then
Okay.
yeah, got it.
Well, still felt good finding that there early and not late.
Mhm.
Because it led to some things. I don't know what exactly. Hookshot K had bombos.
And Swamp Small.
Swamp Small, yeah.
Yeah.
And
It
there was
also
like
gives
8
you.
keys in Swamp.
Yeah. It also gives you the left side of the mountain as well, like when you follow a Super Bunny connector.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely how I got there, and not through Spectacle Rock, but
Yeah, I got that with hookshot. It was hookshot locked
Yeah.
for me. Yeah.
no, it was an interesting seed. It was very connected. I felt like.
Good time playing this seed. And laughing at the pet seed, but you know.
Yeah, me and Salazar played a different seed this morning, which was also ped, so I'm going for the hat
Morning
trick
is-
now.
Morning is a weird definition, but yeah.
Morning is always 8 hours ago.
But I guess we're gonna do another one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun.
See you on the other side, Director, you know?
Yeah, good luck to the ones who have to do it.
Yeah, Mike,
Could
if you
you-
two wanna, stay in the booth, for a bit, chill out, relax.
I
yeah,
might
this
take a
thing,
few. I might take a few minutes just to eat something real quick and be ready.
Same, actually.
Yeah. And you guys take. I mean, officially it's scheduled for 2, but it's a double header, so and everyone involved is pretty much here. So
Yeah.
take your time, take a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck and take 2.
Thank you.
I will enjoy.
Same. Yeah. This was a fun time. So yeah, best of luck for you guys, especially if you're Pichu for game 2, and Telethar. You guys are the cross keys anchors today, and I guess PH is subbing in for James, and then Jem is subbing in for Mike.
Yep,
Mhm.
that's right.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. See you in a bit, guys.
Yeah. See you in a bit. Yeah.
see you in a bit.
Mhm. Yeah. So for those of you, I think we'll just maybe we'll officially end the episode and then just wait for the next one. I think that'll be fine. But yeah, everyone, I don't think the channel probably won't go down. But yeah, go on. Feel free to go get yourself a snack or refreshment or something, and then we'll be back for game 2, relatively soon for between Telethar and Gem versus Pichu and PH. Oh no, Pichu and PH, man. This is this is
what we
gonna
have to
be
say.
this is gonna be fun. All right. Okay. All right. I'll see y'all
Thanks
later.
for having me here, Kimas.
Yeah. Good luck, Jem.
See you on the side.
Yeah.